Greetings LEGO fans! For today's build I'm pleased to bring to you this ATST Raider. This is kit number 75254 and has 540 pieces. This particular ATST is not one that was used by the Imperials or the First Order, as it was captured or commandeered or somehow acquired by a bunch of raiders and used to terrorize a group of peaceful little locals on this backwater little farming planet. I don't think it's going to be hugely different than the other ATSTs we've seen to date, other than the paint job, of course, but it does come with some cool Mandalorian minifigures, so that sets it apart a little bit. Well, the only way we're really going to be able to review it is to build it, but before we build it, let's open the box, see what we have inside, so we can get this all underway. The ATST Raider. Not all that much different than the other Scout Walkers we've seen previously, but that's not crazy considering that this one is literally the same one. It's just been stolen, refitted, modified, given a new paint job, and here we are at the Mandalorian series with a new walker. Standing tall, this walker has all the standard features you'd expect to find. A pair of those classic walker legs, a large central cannon mounted just beneath the main cab, two armaments mounted on the left and right, those little window flaps that make it look like it has eyes in the front, and coming over to the top, we have the hatch with the pilot, which usually used to get in and out, but it's a little bit small to actually play with, so you can flip open the entire lid so you can have easy access to the entire interior of the cab. And coming around to the back side, you have this little control knob, which if you rotate to one side or the other, will rotate the entire cab to the left or to the right. And mounted just above that, you have the control mechanism for the two projectiles, which are neatly tucked away, mounted just next to the main cannon. And when it comes to what sets this one apart, it's mainly aesthetic, coming down to the different paint job on the left and right legs. With the right leg having this brown camo paint job, and over on the left side, while having some of those brown highlights, also features its own red paint job and a bunch of extra hoses, which I guess are part of the modifications that the Raiders have made to this ATST. And that brings us to the minifigures, of which this kit comes with 4 of them. We have the Mandalorian, Cara Dune, and a pair of Raiders. Now, I think it's worth mentioning that the Mandalorian doesn't have a face, and that's normal because at this point in the series we didn't get to see his face. But he also features the armor that he had at the beginning of the series, which is incorrect because by the time we got to the episode where this ATST was in service, he had actually received his new armor. So I guess they had to have the old armor there just so they didn't have any spoilers, so you didn't see what was coming, but it is actually inaccurate and lose a little bit of points for that. And also I'd like to say on a personal note, I would have loved to have had a Baby Yoda minifigure with this kit. I mean, that's one of the highlights of the series and it simply would have been great. Didn't get it, a little disappointed, but I'm looking forward to getting one in a future kit. And that's about all I have to say about this kit. Not one I really consider to be for display, unless, of course, you've been collecting all the ATSTs to date, in which case adding this one to collection would make it look great next to the others, but definitely great for play, and certainly has a lot of great bricks for when you eventually take it apart and add it to the parts bin so you can make your own creations. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I hope to see you back here next week for the next release. Until then, have a good one.